Hello everyone and welcome to the World Class Stand podcast. Our special guest today is Andy Legg. But before we get into the episode, Steve, can you tell us a little bit more about our World Class Club?
Yeah, our World Class Club. If you like what we do, if you like who we talk to, if we give you some laughs, give you some stories you haven't heard before, please do support us. We've got a World Class Club. It's £2.99 per month. There's no contract. It's rolling. Cancel anytime. With that, you get early release of episodes. No ads on episodes as well for all our back catalogue. So please do support us if you can.
And if you'd like the cheaper option, we've also got a new silver tier for 99 pence. And that entitles you to all the episodes early. So if you do want to see part 2 of today's episode early, you can do so through the silver tier of our World Class Club as well.
Yeah, remember to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. We'll get back to you.
Hello everyone and welcome to the World Class Stand podcast. Our special guest today is Andy Legg. Andy, thanks for coming on the show.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So, we're going to ask you, first of all, we're going to kick off with your all-time 1 to 11. So, Steve, if you wouldn't mind going up and with Andy and walk through his all-time 1 to 11 play with.
Great. So we're going to go through Andy Legg's 1 to 11. So first off, Andy, we're going to start with your favourite ever manager or best manager you played with or under.
Oh, you're asking something now. I'd probably have to go with Frank Burrows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Had many good managers, but Frank Burrows got the best out of me. Enjoyed playing under him. We used to call him Basil Faulty, but he was nuts. But I love Frank, and probably the one I got on with the most.
Yeah. What was his like man management style like?
Yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He knew when to put his arm around you, and he knew when to give you a bollocking. And let me tell you, and when you had a bollocking, you had a bollocking. But he was just a general nice character. You know, I had some mad managers. You know, I think of Barry Fry and people like that. I love Baz. You know, I went to 2 clubs with Barry because I enjoyed my time there with him. But Frank just got the best out of me when I was at Swansea. I think I got 16 one year goals from a wing because he encouraged me to play a different way. And then I took that on in my career then. So, and then I joined up with him at Cardiff. And I think he was probably the only manager who could take me to Cardiff because obviously I'd played for the Swans. So it was a brave decision to go there, but Frank persuaded me. So yeah, I'll go with Frank.
So what was it about his style that got the best out of you? Was the arm around the shoulder? Was it a bit of a bollocking?
he just knew how to work me up. When I got a little bit cocky, he'd knock me down a peg or two. Yeah. And when I felt down, he'd have his arm around me. He'd have me in the office and tell me how good I was and then unbrag me up and whatever and make me feel good. But he's just a general way he was in training. He was so laid back and he was just a pleasure to play for, really.
Great. Okay, so we'll move down to goalkeeper then.
There's only one, and he was probably the best goalkeeper in the world, and that was Neville Southall.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah, we've interviewed him last year, in fact.
Yeah.
Down in Carmarthen. And he is he world
great
class?
character, isn't he?
Oh, he's brilliant. And I'll tell you a story about Nev. I had only just got into the Welsh squad, and we were playing in a game. I think it was one of my first games. It was either Switzerland or something like San Marino. And I was playing left back, and he threw the ball, but he spun it, and he threw it at me in the air. And I said, "What are you doing, Nev?" And he went, "Just deal with it." And I'm thinking to myself, "You're on my team." No. But he's just nuts. The best keeper ever, though. You know, he was absolutely fantastic. You know, when I go back and look at him, I used to watch him when he played for Everton. Some of the saves he made,
unreal. Yeah.
Unreal. And generally a lovely man as well.
Yes, he is definitely vouch for that, can we?
Yeah.
100%.
One thing that Neville talked about is stepping up from the lower leagues. I think it was Alex Neil who used to step up to playing in the international. What was that like for you, just stepping up and when it was time to pull on the red jersey?
Yeah, it was mental for me because it happened all so quickly because I was playing for Baglan Boys Club. And then within a space of a month I'd gone to like to Welsh League, then I went to Britain Ferry, and then I think we went to Aberystwyth, and then I come off the field to play, and it was like 4 clubs wanted to speak to me and for me to go on trial, and then the next thing I know I've signed for Swansea. So it was like just happened so quickly. I never dreamt of being a football player. I didn't think I was good enough as a kid. Well, I wasn't. I played in goals. I played in goals till I was 16. I couldn't get a team, get in the teams because my dad was a manager. He used to tell me I was absolutely rubbish. So, no, it was just mental. I never even dreamt of it. You know, it was just something that happened for me, and I was just a lucky person, in the right place at the right time. And I suppose having a long throw helped. I stood out a little bit more and probably had a left foot, and there wasn't many left footers around in those days. So I consider myself a very lucky person.
Great.
Okay.
Do you want to go left back, right back first, or centre back?
Yeah, what formation are we
I'm
playing?
going to go 3-4-3,
Right, okay.
and I'm going to go Chris Coleman.
Chris Coleman, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely a monster left-sided.
Yeah, hard worker as well on the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Unlucky with injuries as well in his career.
Great character. Played with him at Swansea. Had the benefit of playing with him at Swansea for a couple of years before he went to Fulham. And he was, I played in front of him or behind him sometimes when he used to move on. But absolutely massive. The biggest thighs I've ever seen either as well. Unbelievable. I was just thinking, don't stand next to me, Chris, please. But he's a great bloke. And unfortunately, he had that car crash and probably put the end to his career. But
early 30s was he at the time?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I think I remember.
But what a good manager he turned out to be as well.
Yeah.
You know, what he done for Wales was superb. So,
Yeah.
Chris Coleman was definitely my favourite left back.
Great. And who's going in alongside?
This will shock a few, I think. Well, it won't shock the Birmingham fans, but Stevie Bruce.
Steve Bruce, yeah, fantastic player.
Yeah, absolutely. He came towards the end of his career when he was at Man U, and he came to Birmingham with, I think it was Trevor Francis brought him in.
Yeah.
And his just reading of the game was absolutely superb. He couldn't run,
Yeah,
but he
quick,
knew where he was.
Yeah.
And every time he would stop somebody, he was a colossus. Heading the ball, he wasn't the biggest chaps in the world, but I don't think he lost many. He's superb. So it was a pleasure to play with Brucey. And again, he went on to make another good manager. So
What was his professionalism like? Because I imagine coming from Man United, he was ultra professional.
he was, yeah. He demanded we train properly. Right. Where sometimes we used to, in our day, we used to mess about sometimes, and he didn't like that. He wanted it done properly, like he would on a first team game, and that's the way he was. But yeah, he was a pleasure to play with. I didn't have a great deal with him. I think it was only there probably about 3 months before I moved. I fell out with Trevor over a stupid thing, really. Yeah, because when Trevor took over from Barry Fry, it was a case of the money was coming in.
Right.
And he signed Gary Ablett, Steve Bruce, Vinnie Samways, and he was starting to sign players like that of stature. And he called me in the office and he said, "I'm looking forward to working with you. I tried to buy you at Sheffield Wednesday when I was at Notts County." And I said, "Oh, great." So I was looking forward to it. So I started the season under him. He called me in the office. He said, "I want to give you a new contract." I said, "Well, I've got 2 years left. There's no need."
Oh, no.
And he said, "No," he said, "I want to give you a new contract." I said, "Okay." And it was something like £150 a week.
Oh.
I said, "It's not worth it." I said, "It's all right. I'll just keep playing the way I am." And he said, "You either sign it or in the reserves." And that's where I went. Straight into the reserves because I wouldn't sign it. So, a bit petty, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
it's
Was
interesting.
he trying to get you on a longer contract for cheaper wages? Is that what it was?
I just, for me to sign a new contract, I think £150 didn't matter anything to me because I didn't really sign for money anyway, wherever I went. Because when I left Swansea, I stayed at Swansea for 5 years, and I could have gone 3 times, but I didn't want to go. I wanted to stay loyal. My highest wage at Swansea was £175, and the top earner was earning 600. So money didn't bother me because it was a pleasure for me to be a professional player because I never dreamt of it. It was like I was like a kid in a candy shop.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Happy
wait
to be there.
Yeah,
really,
couldn't wait to get in training. Couldn't wait to play games. So money, I'd never chased money. If I was happy, I never had an agent. I didn't want one.
Oh, really?
If I was happy with the contract, I was happy with the contract. I could have gone to Portsmouth. I could have gone to West Brom. I could have gone to Watford. I think it was Luton that wanted to speak to me at the time. But I went to Notts County for the least amount of money. I was offered the most money somewhere else, but it didn't interest me. I had a gut feeling to go to Notts County, and that's what I did. So I look back now and I think, what a thicko, but it's just to play with these sort of people I watched on TV was just like, hang on, I've got to pinch myself here because this is unreal.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so
Yeah.
it was just for me, I was just like, I shouldn't be in this world.
Yeah.
Mm.
You said 3-4-3, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's going alongside?
Danny Gabardon.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely an athlete.
Yeah. His performance against Italy was probably one of his standouts in his early career. What was he like, Gabardon? Cool, calm, collected. He come across us on the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very quiet.
Yeah.
Alan Cork used to say to him every time we played, we used to wait for it. Danny, we're wearing blue today. Pass to a blue shirt, please. but Danny used to laugh. But what an athlete! What an athlete! And to pick him up from West Brom for the price they did was a really good business for Cardiff. And I think without Danny and probably a couple of other players they signed, we would never have climbed the leagues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think it would be where they are now if it wasn't for bringing people in like Danny. So.
Yeah.
But again, he's unbelievable athlete. Both of them, you know, they could run. They were quick. They were strong. Could read the game. Good in the air.
Yeah.
So, and with Brucey reading the game and anything, I think we're a back three areas.
That's
Yeah, it is, definitely. Rolls Royce, he's been described as, Danny Gabardon.
Oh, do you know, he was so quiet. He was never
purring.
flustered.
Yeah.
Yeah, could never fluster him. I used to shout and scream at him. I played behind him as a sweeper at Cardiff for a year. And very rare I got the ball because he'd
Clean up.
He'd clean
Mop it
up.
up, yeah.
Yeah, he was superb. He was
Quite tall as well, isn't he? I think I passed him once and
yeah,
thought,
he's taller than what
taller
you
than I
think.
thought, to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah.
If you think he's tall, he is really tall.
Yeah, he's about 6, I think 6'1", Yeah, he's got about 6'1". But saying that, I'm 6 foot on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
So.
I'm 6'2". Great. So into the midfield then.
Yeah, right. This is a what have I got here now? I got Vinny Samways,
Vinny Sanders.
Where's Vinny going?
right side.
Right side. What was Vinny like as a player?
He was brilliant. He was the funniest man ever.
Yeah. Was
Yeah.
he a training ground kind of prankster?
ground, yeah. I can remember him one day. He came in and we're at Birmingham, and he came in and he said, "Trev," he said, "can you stop the training?" Oh, he had a message. Trevor did. "Can you stop the training? Vinny's just come in."
Okay.
And he came in his helicopter.
No way.
So he landed on the field.
Brilliant.
Yeah, but
Or a rock star.
oh, he's nuts. Honestly, he was bonkers. He said, "I just done it to upset Trevor." So he was like,
Imagine
nuts, but-
balls flying everywhere.
Yeah.
But what a player! Unbelievable. You know,
Yeah.
ability and skill and vision. You know, he was absolutely superb. You could see why he played at the top level for so many years. But he was a character as well. He was the life and soul in the dressing room. He'd always take the mick out of people. And there's a couple of stories I could tell everybody, but I won't. But he was absolutely and a true gent. Had time for you, had time for the kids, had time for anybody who was at the club. He would go and speak to.
Great.
So he was, a really good bloke.
Good stuff. And then who's going alongside him?
I got Mark Draper beside him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who I played with at Notts County. He went on to play for Villa then. But what a player.
Yeah.
Another person with vision. I wouldn't say the most aggressive player in the world, but absolutely unbelievable on the ball and picking out passes and putting people through on goal. He was superb.
Yeah, he was good.
If you've got those two in creating, I'm with the front three. I got in front. It's a bit of a good one.
He had a stint with blonde hair, didn't he? I remember at Villa in the 90s.
Yeah, I think he copied me because I went to Notts County with not brown hair, and he thought, right, I'm not having that. But great lad. He used to go out every Saturday night, same nightclub every Saturday night. No, he deserved to leave Notts County. He was just a class above the rest of us.
Did he knock on the door of England? I can't remember if he had.
I think it was mentions of it when he went to Villa.
Yeah.
But I don't think he ever got into the squad, and I'm not too sure about that.
I'm not either. No. Okay.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of great players to play for England. So
Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't mean you're a bad player if you can't
No,
get in the
sure.
side.
And I got Kieran Dyer.
Next to him in the centre.
Yeah, I just got 4 in there.
What was Kieran like as a player? Obviously, he had pace to burn,
Young,
tricky.
quick, bags of energy. I just had a month with him at Ipswich, and he just stuck out like a sore thumb. You know, you could tell he was going to go. He was again.
Did he get his move to Newcastle then from Ipswich? Was
I
it?
don't know where he went after. No, I think he went didn't he go
somewhere
to
else, I think,
didn't he?
didn't
Go
he?
Spurs or somewhere? No,
Not Spurs.
He
It
went
might have been
somewhere.
Newcastle. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, because I remember Michael Chopra telling us last time he played him at right back, but
Right.
Well, he played right back for Ipswich a few times.
yeah,
I think the manager used to switch him about the place.
George Burley, was it?
George
that
Burley,
area, yeah.
George used to put him right back and sometimes in midfield. Sometimes he put him as a 10.
Versatile, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's very versatile. He could play anywhere. But again, his energy levels and the amount of ground, well, those two would cover. I wouldn't say Vinny would cover a great deal, but you know, he was superb. But
Well, I think he made. We'd had done Andy Campbell up in Middlesbrough a couple of months back, and he got into his side as well.
did he?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Me and Cams are not too bad then. And there's only one person on the left-hand side, and unfortunately he's not with us anymore, and that's Gary Speed.
Gary Speed. Yeah. What was Gary like as a man? He's obviously well loved by the Welsh public, but what was it like in the changing room? And
The biggest Mickey taker you'd ever see, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, he was always up to something or doing something.
playing pranks and things.
Yeah, but he was brilliant. Yeah, it was one of my first squads, and I just called up, and we were in Cardiff, and him and Dean Saunders said, "We're playing golf this afternoon." I said, "All right." He said, "You playing?" I said, "Yeah, I'll have a game." So anyway, after training, Bobby Gould calls us all in. And he says, "No golf today, boys."
Okay.
So I thought, oh my God, right, I was looking forward to a game of golf. So we go back, we have some dinner. So as we're walking in now, Gary Speed and Dino says, "Go and get your clubs, Legg. Go on." I said, just told us you can't play. He said, "Don't worry about him, we're playing." So I ran upstairs and I've got my clubs and I've come down, but I thought they're stitching me up. So I stood on the stairs looking round and they're standing in the foyer with their bags.
Oh, they was ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've walked down. So Bobby Gould walked down. He said, "I've just said, boys, no golf. Bob, it's booked. We got buggies. We're playing." And we just went and played. But it was just the way he did it. You know, it was just, we're playing golf. That's it.
Because am I right in saying that we spoke to Neville about this? The professionalism wasn't quite. It was obviously good, but not maybe to the level of other national teams.
Yeah, I think, and I think it's improved again and again and again and again. You know, when you go through my day, and you think the first thing on a coach was a slab of lager, second was a kit, and the third was the players. So you know, that's the way.
Prairies,
The way it was in my day. You know, and
Yeah.
you know, I feel sorry for the players these days because they didn't have the lifestyle we had. You know, they're
different.
great. They got the money and they can retire early and whatever, but they can't do what we did. You know, we used to go out after a game straight away and go and mix with the fans and have a couple of beers and whatever.
Yeah.
They can't do that now. You know,
Yeah.
it's so professional now. They, especially with cameras about as well. You know, they come out of Tesco's now and they're on a camera.
Yeah.
You know, it's unfair to them, I think, in a way, but they're earning the money. You know, they're earning massive amount of money now. So
Yeah.
I'm sure they can put up with it.
Okay, then the three across the front.
Three right now. What are my front three? All right. It wouldn't surprise you. There's 3 Welsh players.
Yeah.
And they all played for Wales, obviously. If it was my club, the team would have been obviously totally different. If it was just clubs I played for.
Yeah.
But I've gone Bellamy on the right.
Yeah. Craig Bellamy. What was he like? Well, obviously you played with him at Wales. Pace.
Model professional.
Yeah.
I think he's probably one of the first to do ice baths and proper massages.
Oh, right. Okay.
oxygen tanks and
Right.
things like that. I think he was probably one of the first. When he was mentioned about getting the Welsh job, people were saying, I don't think we should have Bellamy. And I said, what you'll get with Bellamy, he'll be the true pro. That's one thing he is. He may got his doubters about him, but he will get the best for the best. He'll get the best kit, he'll get the best bus, he'll get the best thing, because he's a model pro. He demands it. And he's done ever so well, hasn't he?
He's
started
He's
brilliant.
come in and he's done absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, he's an absolute model pro, you know. You wouldn't catch him drinking.
Okay.
So, but...
so no slab of beer on that coach?
no slab of beer on his coaches now, I don't think. So
Great.
I got Mark Hughes up top.
Mark Hughes.
I only played with him once, and that was...
Got quite a few managers in your side.
Yeah, I'm hoping for they get another job and I can get a job with them, but no. But the strongest man I've ever seen, I think.
Yeah.
Just hold you off. It was like flicking a piece of paper away, you know, and he used to hold people off, and you think I used to try and mark him or in a practice game or whatever, but he just to get it off the way, like one hand or and his legs were huge. Him and Coleman, I don't know the biggest legs, but but he was unbelievable player.
So they weren't skipping leg day in the gym then, Hughes and Coleman?
No, I wouldn't like to take them on in a push, let me tell you. But no, and he was quiet, went about his work, didn't really, you know.
Yeah, he seems quite, I wouldn't say shy, but like focused and not dramatic, you know?
Yeah, he was, you know, how can you say? Yeah, he was just quiet, just went about his work, and again, a model pro, and didn't like mess about or anything like that. You know, wasn't one of the jokers of the league. You know, he just got on with his work. Yeah.
Scored some great goals as well, didn't he?
Oh, he was
at Chelsea.
Ridiculous goals.
Yeah.
You don't go to Barcelona if you're not a good player. You know, so.
And again, the level of professionalism, I guess, from United.
Yeah.
With him, yeah.
And you I don't have to tell you the last one. I bet you can guess.
I'm imagining Giggsy.
Yeah, it's gotta be. I don't think I actually ever played with Giggs
on the same pitch.
Because when he played, I didn't play.
Yeah, right, okay.
Because you had Coleman and you had Speeds, you had Pembridge.
Yeah.
Pembridge,
So you had 4 great left footers.
Clayton Blackmore knocking around those times?
Clayton was just on the outskirts of it then, but you know, when you got Coleman, Speed, Giggs, and then you had Pembridge as well, 4. You got 4 people in front of you, and you think, well, I'm just here for training, like, because they are class players, you know, and they deserve to be in anybody's team. I think those 3.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, speaking about class players, how many of them would you say are world class?
I would say at least those 3, definite. Nev was probably the best keeper in the world.
Yeah.
Won the European Cup, didn't he?
Yeah. Some of the saves he used to make were ridiculous. I mean, when we went to Holland and I think we got beat 5 or 6 or whatever it was, but it would have been 15. Nev Southall just had a game of his life. He was just, well, not game of his life, because he used to do it week in, week out.
Was that coined the Southall versus Holland game? I think I heard.
Yeah, it was, yeah. It's coined, yeah. It was incredible to watch. And we were all sitting on a bench, and we were watching the goals going in, and Pembridge said, I can't remember the winger he had on, and he was rapido, absolutely rapido. And they took him off, and Pembridge went like, oh, God for that. And they put somebody else quicker on.
It was Overmars.
They put Overmars on.
It had to be him, yeah. He was quick.
I remember Bobby Gould looking down the line like that, and everybody went. That was crazy, but I mean, to play with these players I didn't go into the league until I was 22. To play with these names, I mean, Gabs was, I played before Gabs probably, but because obviously I was there before him. But to play with the likes of these players or be involved with them was incredible for me. You know, I had to pinch myself. But they used to make me welcome, and they used to have a bit of fun with me and stuff like that, and take the mick out of the long throw and stuff like that.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. That's Andy Legg's 1 to 11.
Right, Andy, so we're going to go into the your ex-club's season review. So talk about Cardiff. What do you think about their season so far, and how do you see it panning out?
In a way, I'm pleased that they've gone with the manager who's there, because at least they know him, they know what they're doing, rather than a new manager coming in, breaking it all up. Whether it's the right decision or not to give him the job, I'm not too sure come the end of the season. But he's done a reasonable job at the start of it, and obviously they need a massive result against Preston tonight, because they need to get out of that bottom three and get away from there, because it's so tight. Come the end of the season, you don't want to be scrapping for points. So, but I think Cardiff are, underperforming, for what they've got in the squad. Too inconsistent, but hopefully, touch wood, he can turn it round and pick up a few results. Well,
they turned around. They had no wins in 7, I think. I think they turned it around then. They had a draw against Millwall or a win against Millwall. Managed to win a few, and then no wins in 5, I think, now.
Yeah, that's the trouble. I think inconsistent, and that's what we're talking about. And to be fair to the Championship, that's what it is. It's inconsistent. The top team can beat the bottom team, and the bottom team can beat the top team. It's just mental. It's a really tough league. But it's probably one of the best leagues. I think it's probably better than the Premier League for me.
Yeah. More to play for, isn't it? I think longer in the season.
Longer in the season. No VAR. Because I think VAR is some of the decisions in that. I don't know what Wolves have done to the FA or not. I don't know, but 2 certain pens again the other night against West Ham and not given. So.
Thinking about it, didn't Wolves want to vote to get rid of VAR?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
So maybe it is a conspiracy.
And you can see why. It's
knew.
And that's why I like the Championship. I think, it's if you score, you can celebrate.
Yeah, it's proper football now.
That's a good one.
They've got to wait. They've got to wait now 2 or 3 minutes before they can celebrate.
Seems ridiculous to say, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy. You just don't know what's going to go on.
Yeah, so Cardiff 22nd, third from bottom. Where do you think they're going to...
Listen, I'd be happy if they can just avoid relegation.
You think it's going to drag out through the
I think it's going to be tough. It's a tough league. I'm hoping to get a result this evening.
Yeah.
It's going to be... Listen, if they finish 5 from bottom, and then maybe, I don't know, have a look at the manager then, have a look at the players, they need a clear out.
Yeah.
It's stagnant. I think you're going to look at the hierarchy as well. I think that's half the problem. I think there's some people in charge who don't know a great deal about football. I'm not going to mention names, but I think you all know who he is. But it's incredible. He's somebody of that stature's running a club. So, but touch wood, they'll get away and they can rebuild for next year.
Yeah, it's keeping Callum Robinson fit because he's probably the only real goal scorer in the team without people chipping in from other areas of the pitch. But out and out kind of finishers, Callum Robinson seems to be their best striker. Yeah,
he's the best hope for getting a goal, I think. Although IG has got a couple only this year and popped in with a few from set plays. And I think that's what it's going to be like this year. I think it's going to be up to central defenders to pop up with a goal, a winner, to just change the game because it's going to be tough.
Yeah, the transfer window in January, time to strengthen. That's maybe one of my question marks as a fan is over Omar Rizza is what's he going to be like to be able to attract players to the club, because usually managers can have a pull and a say. He seems to have all the players on board. They all seem to be buying in and they enjoy playing for him, but I don't know how it's going to work when attracting players to the club. Do you think he's got enough contacts in the game to kind of get players in, or do you think it'll be just players brought in for him?
He's been at a few clubs, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So he'll have a couple of contacts. He'll know what players he likes and what sort of style he wants. Whether he'll be allowed to bring people in.
Yes,
that's the issue. Whether they'll be picked for him, which is, in my eyes, should never happen because the manager should always have a say. And I think if you ask, I don't know, probably most of the managers would say, they would want a little say in who's coming in.
Yeah.
Rather than a director of football saying, right, I've just signed him, you've just signed him. I don't know. I don't think that works.
Yeah.
I think the manager's got to like him, and and think, right, I want him out of the club.
What's it like as a player in that situation? If you're being spoken to by a director of football rather than a manager, do you feel wanted, or do you feel a part of a...
Never happened to me because in my day, it was never a director of football, really, because managers used to ring you. Yeah, you know, Frank used to ring you, or you'd get a message to the club that so-and-so wants to speak to you, and it's up to you if you want to go, and that was it.
Do you think it would make you think, if you know, hypothetically, not being spoken to by the manager, would you think, oh, not sure about this one?
Yeah, I think if it was me personally, I'd like to speak to the manager because I want to see where I'd fit in his plans. I know, am I going to be a regular starter? What do you want out of me? You know, like what assets have I got that he wanted to put in the team?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I haven't got the assets he wants to put in the team and I'm just sitting on a bench, it's no good.
Yeah.
So I think I think a manager's got to speak to you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to your other club you played in South Wales, Swansea. They're having a better start. Cullen's banging in the goals, got another one the other night. Do you think they'll finish in the playoffs or maybe even have a big push up the league?
I think it all depends on January as well.
Yeah.
I know Luke Williams pretty well, not on the talking terms, but I've watched his teams play a lot. Notts County, I've spent a lot of time up there with him, watching them. The brand of football he played for Notts County and got him out of the conference was brilliant. It was unbelievable, and he's starting to happen at Swansea now.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I would say, and I saw more of it last night than I had in previous games with Swansea, is they get the ball wide and they always come back. But last night they're delivering crosses. When he was at Notts County, he got Langstaff, who just fed off crosses all the time. And they put some dangerous balls in last night. And going back to the Luton game on Saturday, they put 4 crosses in when they came out second half. They won 4 corners. They scored from a corner. They got themselves back in the game. I think crosses, if you've got the ability to put the ball into an area when you can, it puts defence under pressure.
You have to make a decision, don't you? You know, whether it's...
If I'm a fullback and I see a winger turning back and putting it back to the midfield player, I'm quite happy because it's gone away from goal. Yeah. But if he whips it in around me and you got your own centre halves running back to your own goal, it's so hard to defend. Yeah. Or a centre forward gets a nip in front of you. You know, so I think Swansea, I think they were well capable of getting to the playoffs. What I've seen.
Sitting 9th at the minute.
Yeah, I've seen them twice now in a matter of 3 days. Should have beaten Luton. Missed numerous chances second half, but you've got to give credit to the Luton goalkeeper. Yeah. He made 3 outstanding saves. So, but I think if he's backed right with a new owner now, I think they could have a push.
Striker Cullen, he seems to have that natural goal scorer's instincts, movement in the box, right place, right time. I think against in the South Wales derby recently, his goal against Cardiff just seemed to know where the ball was going to fall, and for Wales as well.
Same as last night.
He's scoring goals.
He got in at
he's
the
got
far
that
post.
kind of fox in the box instinct, haven't he? How good can he become? Because he's obviously still young. He's got lots of potential.
Yeah,
Did
he's
make
good.
the Premier League maybe?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Probably worse players than him in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But he was decent last night. He had a quiet game against Luton, to be fair. Didn't get in the game very often. But last night he popped up with a second goal to kill the game. I like the way he drops into little holes and little spaces. Yeah. Drops into midfield now and then. He doesn't mind working hard. He runs back and puts a few tackles in as well. So, yeah, he's got a bit of everything. He reminds me a bit of Earnshaw, to be fair, because the way he gets on the end of things, he's got that knack. It's something you can't teach. You know, a manager can go over practices with you, but you can't teach where you think it's going to go. And he seems to got that knack, like you said. Yeah. He popped up with it last night.
Okay, yeah, going on to the other teams played for now. Peterborough, Notts County, both in mid-tables and their divisions. Do you follow them more avidly as you do with the South Wales guys? Or
yeah, obviously I watch Swansea and Cardiff more because I live in back in South Wales now, but first thing I look for is Notts County and Peterborough. I always look for my old clubs. I had a great time in Notts County. I was there just under 3 years, where then I got sold, but it was I had a great time at Notts County. It was a great city, to be in. One of the friendliest derbies I've ever played in front of. It's unbelievable. From going from Swansea against Cardiff, with a hatred, and then going to play Forest against Notts County, and you think, what's going on? I was just flummoxed because they were walking across Trent Bridge together, families splitting up, going in the stands, abusing each other, having a laugh, having a pint, and they were all in the pubs together after the game. It was just amazing. I'd never seen anything like it in my life. It was brilliant, and it was good that season because they beat us at home 1-0 and we beat them at home 2-1. So it was even Stevens that year. But they're a bigger side at Forest, obviously, but Notts County, when they were in the Championship, we should have gone up with them. We blew it on the last couple of games. I think we drew at Derby County at the baseball ground. That really put us down. And then we lost against Oxford last game of the season, and that knocked us out of the playoffs. It was gutting. But the likes of Mark Draper was there, then Steve Cherry was in goals, Tony Garner was playing. It was a great side, and we used to get good crowds. They used to say we're getting good crowds. They used to get 18,000, 19,000, but when they played Wrexham in the conference, they got 16,000. So the support is there. And what I like about it, both clubs, if one club's home, the other one's away, and they go and support each other. Yeah. So
that's good.
It's unbelievable, honestly. You've got to see it to believe it.
Yeah. A one-off, I bet.
Yeah, it is a one-off. Yeah.
The stadiums are so close together as well, isn't it? They're literally right across the Trent River.
Just across the Trent.
What was that like playing an away game? Obviously, you go into different ground, but you could probably walk there from the stadium.
Well, it was crazy. It was crazy because we had a bus. We met at the ground and we all got on the bus and just drove over the Trent Bridge and straight in. It was crazy, but it's honestly it's great city, and all the sports are together. You've got the cricket right next to that. You've got the horse racing just down the road. You've got the dogs just down the same place. And the rugby is the only one that's really far away. But it's an incredible city. It's brilliant. I work with a Forest fan now in work, and I give him a boost. I said the second class to Notts County. He won't buy it though.
I think they're sitting in 9th League 2
doing well.
They started off really well. They got up to about 3rd or 2nd at one stage, and they've just dropped off a little bit. But it'll take a bit of time because the new manager's gone in, because Luke left, obviously. He went to Swanssia.
And they lost their goal scorer as well.
Lost their goal scorer and Langstaff, and it's actually on the bench for Millwall, which is incredible. I think he's got 26 goals last year. He is a fox in the box. He did nothing outside the box. He was pretty poor, to be fair, but anything in the box he put away. I keep an eye out on Notts County a lot. I go back up. My daughter still lives there, so I go up and see her, and I go and watch the games now and then. And obviously Peterborough, well, Barry Fry, I can't tell you enough about him. He's just absolutely raving bonkers. What a man. Not the best tactician in the world, but run through a brick wall for him. Absolutely brilliant.
Do you get to speak much to the owner as well? Because Barry Fry, did he own it as well at some
Barry
points?
owned it at one stage,
but now was it Dara or something, I think?
Dara.
The Irish bloke, isn't he?
I've listened to him on TalkSport. He's pretty good on TalkSport, to be fair to him. He says it as it is. He's a bit like Jordan, isn't he?
Yeah, Simon Jordan. But, what do you think of Simon Jordan?
I quite like him.
Yeah,
I think he's good. He's got an insight how the club is run and things like that. So I quite like him. There's a few things he comes out with and you think it's a bit nasty, but I think it's good. I always listen to TalkSport if I can.
Yeah, I suppose you can't accuse him of sitting on the fence, can you, Simon Jordan?
He won't sit on the fence.
He'll go one way or the other.
They're 15th at the minute in League One, Peterborough.
Disappointing because they should be challenging. They should be in the top. It should be in the playoffs at least, minimum. It's a decent club. It's run well.
Ferguson in his 4th stint as well.
Yeah, it's his 4th time back there now. I think they swap the managers, don't they, now and then. I think
and then bring him back.
Bring him back. But
they've had some great players play there as well, haven't they? They seem to produce lots of players and then sell them on Is that maybe the thing that's kind of stopping them from maybe consolidating in the Championship, is
Yeah,
getting rid of all
possibly.
their players?
Because they're your team when they go up to the Championship, they come back down, they go up, they come back down. So I think that's probably didn't help them. You know, like you said, they sell a lot of players, make good profits on them, and they're good at picking up players. And that's Barry Fryer, that for you, because he's everywhere. You know, he's out looking, scouting, and he will send scouts to go and look at games, but he'll go and watch himself. And if he likes a player, you bring him in. You only had to see that at Birmingham. It was 54 of us.
Yeah, it's mad, that is. Yeah.
54 pros there.
Oh, wow.
So.
That's almost like Chelsea now, I
Yeah.
suppose, isn't it?
Yeah. But it was a little bit different. We never saw. We probably never saw 26 for about 3 months. They trained at the other training ground, so yeah, it was mental. It was just nuts.
Speaking of Birmingham, they're third in League One at the minute, doing well. Shame to be in that league, obviously, for them as a big club. They're looking like they're going to come back up.
Yeah, I think they'll come back up. I think them and Wrexham, possibly, hopefully, touch wood. Wickham had a bad result last night.
Yeah.
So, you know, hopefully that'll give Wrexham a little bit of a spur on, and I know they'll probably go into the transfer market in January as well, Wrexham. But Birmingham are a big club.
Yeah.
You know, they've got to be in the Championship minimum. If not, they've got to go into the Premier League.
Yeah.
You know, they're a big club, great following, good supporters, great atmosphere at St Andrews. But I think there's rumours about they've bought a new training ground, and they're going to put a new ground there as well.
Right,
So they're on about leaving St Andrews, which is, I don't think it's going down too well with the fans.
Yeah.
But the American owners now are trying to sell it to them, and they seem to be coming round a bit.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the things, you know, you never really want to get relegated, but maybe that could help them reset and clear out, you know, all some of the dead wood. And you don't want to get relegated, but if you got relegated and got a bit of money, that makes kind of a little bit of a difference, because they can reinvest and build a squad ready to challenge in the Championship next season.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, the crowds will always stay the same. They'll always be up towards the late teens.
Yeah.
You know, it's a well-supported club.
Yeah, I did see their game against Wrexham at home this season. What a game that was.
Oh.
3-1. It was right humdinger, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
Wrexham scored in the first 60 seconds, was it? And then but Birmingham second half, got to give them credit. You know, they looked really good.
Well, it was a big crowd, good atmosphere, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Great advert for Division 1, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. You know, it just shows how tough that league is. You know, when you've got the likes of... We've got Charlton down there as well, you know. They were Premier League a couple of years ago, you know.
Yeah. There's some big size. Reading as well, obviously.
Reading,
another one of your former clubs.
Yeah, well, I don't want to talk about Reading too much.
We'll skip then.
Save that for later. Yeah.
Yes. So going on to Premier League, how do you see this season going? Liverpool obviously starting off really well.
Well, I'm a Liverpool fan, so...
Yeah.
You're well happy then.
What's
delighted.
what's your take on Arne Slot coming in? Because I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's like Klopp never existed at the minute, because
Is he Klopp in disguise?
he's 6 wins from 6 in the Champions League. They're, you know, I think they're currently 4 points clear of Chelsea at the minute, but a couple of games in hand. So yeah, how do you see the Premier League finishing this season? And yeah, what's your kind of thoughts on the top 4?
Well, touch wood, they'll continue. But they're going to have a blip. It's got to come. Every team has a blip.
Yeah.
You know, Arsenal are having a blip. Man City are having a blip. You know, Chelsea had a blip early doors. So you do think, right...
It's how big is the blip, isn't
It's
it? That's
when
the
the blip is going to come and how big the blip is going to be. Every team has a blip. You know, it doesn't matter. You can't go through a season. I know Arsenal did it, the Invincibles, but you can't go through a season without dropping points. And, you know, the Newcastle game the other night, unfortunately, it's the first mistake the goalkeeper's made, and it cost them 2 points. And that extra 2 points with the games in hand could have been 13, 14 points clear. You know, it's mental. But he couldn't have wished for it to go any better. And he has inherited an unbelievable squad, if you think. I think if I listened to Dean Saunders this morning, and he said if Diaz can, not Diaz, sorry,
Darwin Núñez.
Yeah.
If he gets to start scoring goals, they could be out of sight.
Yeah.
Because he works his socks off. He does everything right. He's so I don't know. You think, right, he's going to score that one, and he misses, and you think he's not going to score there, and he puts it in the back of the net. So
Scores the harder ones and misses the easy chances.
I think when he's got time, I think he probably hesitates, when he hasn't got time and it's instinct, it's bang, it's in the back of the net. So it's going to come, but when and how big?
If it does click for him, it's gonna. You know, you can imagine him scoring 20 goals a season easily.
Yeah.
Can you?
You just look at the bench when they come on, though. You know, they bring somebody on, they bring Curtis on, and it doesn't weaken it; it strengthens it. Where before, I think Liverpool had a starting 11, 12. When they brought subs on, it used to weaken it a little bit, but now it's incredible.
Like to say, they got a stronger midfield now than when they won it.
Yeah, I think so.
COVID season.
Yeah. And he's reinvented Gravenberch as well. That's been a real win.
Well, he's been incredible because we didn't see a great deal of him last year.
Yeah.
He was on the bench quite a lot, wasn't he? He didn't get really used by Klopp, but he's seen something in him, and he thinks, right, well, he's in. And to be fair, he's proven everybody right, didn't he?
Do you think it was maybe that Dutch connection? Because obviously they're both Dutch, and maybe he gets to understand him a little bit more.
It could be. Gakpo's on the bench a lot now, though. So, you know, it's not like he wants to play the Dutch players. You know, he picks his best team, what he thinks is the best team. I don't think he's frightened at making changes. And as I say, if he makes 3 or 4 changes, it doesn't weaken it. It just keeps it the same. So he's got a good squad. With
Alisson as well coming back in last night as well. He'd been out for about 11, 12 games, hamstring injury. He made a bunch of saves. And like you say, the Quoim Keller, I think his name is, he hadn't done too wrong by the Newcastle game, but then they just bring a world-class goalkeeper back into the fold.
Absolutely, and they bought another one for next year.
Yeah.
So they're going to have 3. So, but I think Kelleher will go next year. I think he's got to go and play first-team football.
Yeah.
He is that good. He's a decent keeper. And you can't have 3 fantastic keepers. Yeah. You know, it's unfair if Liverpool keep him and he doesn't go out and play. So I think you'll find he'll move next year.
Do you think Chelsea are a serious title challenger
I
this
do.
year? Or do you
I do. I think they're more than Arsenal myself. They drew against Arsenal the other day and really should have beaten them. They're looking sharp. They're young. They're hungry.
Yeah.
I think they're the biggest challenge to Liverpool. Okay. Well, in saying that, will Man City get it back? I'm not too sure. You can never tell with them.
We've discussed ourselves. There always seem to be, over the years, an informed player at any one time. In this last couple of month or so, or 2 months, there's been no one in red hot form for Man City. So
Haaland's not hitting the back of the net as often as he used to, and
De Bruyne's on off the bench until recently.
Yeah, he's been injured, and I think he's struggling to get back to his proper fitness. And he's probably been rushed back too quick because he's not probably match fit yet.
A bit older now as well.
Yeah, but they'll be there and thereabouts. You know, they're only 2 points behind Arsenal.
Yeah.
So, and they've got to play Arsenal again. Liverpool got to play Arsenal.
You can never really write Man City off with that there, can you? And,
no, you can't.
Yeah, I think with Chelsea, one of the reasons why they're flying so high is with Cole Palmer. He's kind of the ready-made replacement for Kevin De Bruyne, but for whatever reason, maybe more the player, so he wanted to go out and play football. And they could probably do with him right now, couldn't they?
I think it was good of Pep to let him go, to be fair, because he started to get into the Man City side, and obviously he wanted to play more regular, and they've sold him to Chelsea, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he ever went back to Man City.
There must be some sort of clause
in his
contract.
It may be something there.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know that, do we? And,
be silly not to be, I guess.
Yeah,
Man City.
because he is a class act. You know, he should have played more in the Euros.
Yeah,
he should have.
Yeah, I'm surprised in his first season how many penalties that he took, because you'd expect the senior pros to step up, but they just put all the pressure onto the. Was he in his early 20s, and he's
got no fear.
It's like it was nothing.
He's got no fear whatsoever. If he misses, he misses. It doesn't bother him.
Yeah,
you know, and I probably a great attitude to have, because if you worry about things, it's only going to affect you, innit? So
yeah, definitely. So who's got your top 4 for this season?
I'd probably have the top 4 they got now.
Yeah,
I can't see anybody else getting in. Man U are not going to get nowhere near. Spurs are too inconsistent.
They've gone a bit Spursy, haven't they? They beat Man City 4-0.
They're brilliant one week and then rotten the next week. You know, the Chelsea game, the prime example, 2-0 up. Go and control the game then. But instead of that, just keep on going. Yes, if they get the third, it's done and dusted. But then they can get picked off like they did.
Yeah.
So I think they'll upset a few. They'll have a say in who wins it,
Mm-hmm.
because Liverpool got to go there.
Yeah.
You know, they've got to play Chelsea again. They've got to play Arsenal. They've got to play Man City. They'll have a say. Yeah, and I think they'll have a big say.
Yeah.
What about Forest? They're, do you think they're going to...
Unbelievable,
Stand the
to be
test of
fair.
the season.
I'm delighted they're up there, to be fair.
Yeah. Really well.
They are doing well.
And
Chris
they beat
Wood banging the
Liverpool
goals
as well this season
Yeah.
at Anfield 1-0.
Yeah, I actually thought, the only team to win it at Anfield. I actually thought they'd beat Man U away on Saturday. Put on a little bet, to be fair.
Yeah.
But
That shows how it's turned, though. Obviously,
Yeah,
I know United have not been great the last few seasons.
I think
but
give the manager time. I think he'll get it right.
yeah,
But I mean, all the talk is now about replacing players and getting his own team in, which is right, because he'll want players who can run and run and run. If you looked at his sporting team, they were very good, weren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Great for the City, Forest, yeah.
Who do you think is going to go down then this season?
I think Southampton will definitely go.
It's not looking good for Southampton, is it?
Well, I don't think they're learning a lesson, though. Is it time to play out and invite a little bit of pressure and to play out and play through the lines? But then it's time you've got to put your foot through the ball. And they just don't want to put... It's not they don't want to put foot through it. The manager doesn't want to do it.
They come a bit unstuck against Liverpool, actually, again, where I think it was Szoboszlai, they pressed them from the kick-off, and then he curled one in. And they actually give Liverpool a decent game, but
They've given a lot of teams a good game, but I think they'll always get beat because they keep playing out.
As a player, though, you must know, surely, that's a risky pass. I should just be booting this. And, yeah.
Well, it's like talking about Spurs in the other night, isn't it? Instead of throwing bodies forward and think, right, we're under the cosh a bit now. Let's all sit in together now, and we'll bank up and let's we'll defend.
Game management.
Let's see the game out for a bit. But Southampton are the same as Spurs for me. They just keep on doing the same things they're told to do.
Must be frustrating as a player, because there must be a voice in the back of your head thinking, I need to be launching this.
Yeah, I would have probably thought so. I think.
yeah.
It's I don't know if it's stubbornness or what it is, but I know everybody plays out now at the back, and I mean, if you look at it, and I'd love to see the stats on it, when they pass the ball to one centre half to the other, then it goes to the keeper. What's the keeper do?
Straight down the pitch.
Straight down the middle.
Yeah, it's pointless.
So you can't get out then. So you're not going to catch people offside because you're like 20 yards behind.
Yeah.
So I'd either put the ball on the thing and kick it out, or then play through the lines. It's crazy because they go back to the keeper and they just hit it long anyway.
Yeah. Obviously, Russell Martin, another ex-Swansea manager. Do you have a relationship with Russell at all? Do you speak to him much, or like?
No, I've never spoken to Russ.
No.
I've seen him last night. Funny enough, he was no, it wasn't last night. Sorry, I'm telling lies. A couple of weeks ago, I saw him, but I've never spoken to him.
No.
But,
yeah. Do you think it's just his philosophy and
that's what he believes in. I suppose it's the same as other managers. They got their philosophy and they believe in that, and that's what they stick to, and that's what they know.
Yeah.
So you can't criticise him. He got him up last year.
Yeah.
So he'll get look at the Bayern Munich manager.
Yeah.
Burnley did it all last year. Where's he now? Bayern Munich.
There's a company. Yeah. He's gone over to.
No,
Bayern.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy world of football, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really. When you think it finished bottom of the league, wouldn't change his style, and now he's at Bayern Munich. So
Top of the league as well, eh?
yeah.
Ujing's going to join Southampton then, relegation.
I'm hoping Ipswich get out of it. I like Ipswich, and I definitely want Wolves to get out of it. I think.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're in there, to be honest.
Yeah, I think they've had a rough run in.
Yeah.
I think obviously they started the season playing all the top teams, but then you look at last game against West Ham, two certain pens for me, absolutely certain pens, and possibly a sending off. But in saying that, they should have had one sent off as well. Oh no, that was the Spurs game. But how VAR can not interfere and say it's a pen. It's two-hand push in the box and clobbered on the ankle, and it's not enough connection. But 2 minutes later, he give a free kick on the edge of the box for less connection.
Yeah, they always do, don't they?
So just because it's in the box, it doesn't matter.
That must frustrate you the most as a player, ex-player and player, is the consistency. You know, you want the referee to make the same decisions.
Yeah. You should. And I believe in it. I've heard a great discussion on radio stations about it and things that I think they should get some ex-players in.
Yeah.
Because they understand the game. They know what is a dive, what's a cheat. You know, if there's a push, a pull. If you look at corners and set plays now, you can give a pen or a free kick every time. Because somebody's pushing somebody or somebody's blocking somebody. Yeah. So you can either disallow a goal. Arsenal are experts at it. 3 of their players who run all block off or grab somebody. And then the one tries to get in, Saliba. It's amazing. If you watch it, it's crazy. How they get away with it, week in, week out, I do not know.
Yeah. The evolution of set-piece coaches now, isn't it? And, you know, specific...
But I know the referee can't see everything, but certainly can see some of them. Yeah. You know, it's incredible. But I feel sorry for Wolves. I just think he's had a rough period. And I hope they stick with him. I think they said today that they're going to stick with him, but if they don't beat Ipswich on Saturday, I think
it's
that could
a crunch game, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that could be curtains for him.
Yeah. So if we was to push you for anything, what would you say?
I think Ipswich will go. I think they'll go with Southampton, and it's a toss up then for me. I think Palace will get out of it.
Yeah.
I think it could be between West Ham and Everton.
Yeah, Everton.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be tough, and Leicester was the other one that was kind of in the mix. But
they've seen Van
Nistelrooy's come in.
He's gone in 2 wins now, and popped them up a little bit, playing with a bit of energy now, and
and Steve Cooper was a bit unlucky because he wasn't in the relegation zone.
He was he 2 points clear of the relegation and got the sack. So
could be a shrewd appointment though, Van Nistelrooy, couldn't it?
I think it's a good appointment.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gutted for the
definitely.
manager.
Yeah, it seems a very proactive appointment, though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I think
my Manchester United links, especially being manager, he might be able to get a few Man United players over who fancy it.
Yeah.
So
well, they certainly play attacking football in the game, money. So
and he's a legend as well, isn't he? So,
I think he'll do. I'm hoping he'll do well.
Yeah.
And Amarin could be having a clear out as well, so might ship a few down there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you follow football nowadays, Andy? Do you follow any particular channels? I know you work with the BBC, but do you like any pundits in particular? Or
no, I just I'll go and watch a game now and then, live game. I'll go and watch local games as well. I go down to watch Britain Ferry or Bagland Boys Club or anything like that. If they play in around me, I'll go down and watch them, and I just keep my eye in. I just keep watching football. I don't particularly go and support a team now. I just keep an eye out on all my ex-clubs, and if I'm in Cardiff, I'll go and watch Cardiff. If I'm in Swansea, I'll go watch Swansea or whatever. Like I've watched Swansea twice now in this week, so probably due to go down and watch Cardiff again.
Yeah. So. What's your reception like when you go to watch Swansea? Are you welcomed by the fans?
I'm not welcomed that well down there. But no, we have a bit of fun about it. You know, most of my friends are Swansea fans, and I look upon it as they give me my career. I got so much that I owe them. Terry Orth and Swansea City at the time. Without them, I wouldn't have been a pro, or I could have made it somewhere else possibly. But they're the ones that give me the start. They're the ones that give me the contract, and you know, so I got a lot to thank them for. And I had 5 years down there, and I loved every minute of it. You know, we played in Europe, we played Liverpool in the FA Cup and things like that, and I loved my time there, and I didn't want to leave. It was a time where I could have gone. I could have gone to a Wimbledon, but I turned it down. Didn't want to go. And I stayed at Swansea, and I stayed loyal. And then when I eventually went, it wasn't my choice. It was Frank Burrows' choice.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, because I was on poor wages, and Frank had said to me, "You're not signing another contract at this club unless he gives you what the rest of the players are on." So I said, "All right, okay." So I didn't think anything more of it. And we got to the playoffs that year. We played West Brom. And we won the first leg 2-1, and we lost the second leg 2-0, and we went out. And straight after the game, Frank pulled me out the change room, and I was in my shorts, no top, no socks. He said, "Come with me." And he took me down to Ozzy Adilis's room.
Oh, okay.
And he said, "I've sold you. You come in here next year."
Wow.
And I said, "Pardon?" And he said, "No, you come in here next year." He said, "I've told you you're not signing a new contract." He said, "Because the chairman won't give you the money." He said, "I think you deserve it. You need to go and earn some decent money." And it was incredible, because I won't name figures or anything like that, but Ozzy offered me the first deal, and I turned around to Frank and I said, "Is he serious?" And he went, "Okay." And he upped it by another 100 quid, and then he upped it again, and I was like, "He can't be serious, he's having a laugh."
So you were negotiating, did he?
Yeah. And Frank was going, "No, he's serious." And I was going, "Oh my God." I said, "Yeah, all right." So I agreed to sign for West Brom that day.
Oh, wow.
But when I went away on holidays, I come back from Florida that year, and Ozzy had gone to Spurs.
Ah, right, okay.
Keith Birkinshaw took over. But Ozzy had rang me and told me to still go to West Brom. So I went up to West Brom, spoke to the manager, and he tried to clip me in the wages that I was being offered. And I said, no. I said, man in principle. I said, I'm no agent. So I said, I was man in principle. I said, we agreed this, we agreed that. He said, I can't do that. So I got out, jumped in the car and went home. I went straight down to Portsmouth, spoke to Jim Smith. Then I spoke to Luton, and then Notts County rang me, and I went up to Notts County. They offered me the least amount of money, and I went there.
Just felt right there.
Just felt right there.
Yeah. What was Jim Smith like? That's another character
Brilliant.
from the past.
Yeah. He was quite funny, because our first game of the season, Notts County, Portsmouth away.
Oh.
And John Gittins, a full-back, he broke my leg.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, first tackle. And it was quite funny, because Jim then became Derby County manager when I was still at Notts County.
Okay. Yeah.
And he came in the bar after the game, and we beat Derby 4-1, I think, at home. And he came to me, he said, I would have signed you at Derby if I'd known you or whatever. And I said, if you had come to Pump, he said he would have come to Derby with me. But I was a character.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great. Jim Smith was a really old school, great person.
Yeah, he seemed like it. Yeah.
I loved him. I did. And Frank told me to go to Jim Smith, actually. Yeah, but I just made my own mind up. I went to Notts County.
Yeah, I remember his stint as Derby manager in Premier League. Yeah, Palo One Chop and
Storied.
They had the side there, didn't they? Yeah.
Bayano, I think, was another one. Yeah, he looked a character.
Oh, he was nuts. But it was good. But yeah, I mean, I think if I look back in my career, I think I made one really major error. I don't regret not going from Swansea when I should have gone earlier. I didn't regret that. I could enjoy the 5 years I was there.
Yeah.
The biggest regret was I didn't go to Ipswich. I agreed a contract with Ipswich manager, George. But the fee that they agreed with the club, Birmingham and Ipswich, wasn't the fee that Birmingham told me I could leave for.
Right, okay.
So they said, Trevor Francis said to me, he said, you can go on loan, because I was out. He put me in the reserves because I wouldn't sign a new contract. And he said to me, you can go out on loan, but if they want to sign you, which they won't want to sign you, I said, okay, no problems, because Mick Millers had done it. Mick Millers had got me to Ipswich. And he said, if they do want to sign you, you can go for 100 grand. I went, okay. So I played a month. I think I scored 2, played in the quarterfinal of one of the cups. And we were playing, I was Middlesbrough at home, I think, and we had one of the players sent off, centre half. So they took me off and put a centre half on, which is the right thing to do, because so I thought that was the end of my Ipswich days. And after the game, he called me and he said, I want to sign you. I said, oh, Pa, I didn't think you wanted to sign me. Thought I was just for your injury cover. He said, no. I said, I want to sign you. He said, blah, blah, blah. So I've agreed a fee with Trevor. So I said, how much? And he went 300. I went, no. He went, yeah. I went, no. He said, I can leave for 100. And he went, I've just come off the phone. Have we agreed it? So I rang Trevor. And I said, if I don't have half of it, I'm not going.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah.
I said, you've doubled your money and I'll get 100 grand.
Yeah.
He went, see you tomorrow. I drove back to Birmingham.
Oh.
A week later, he sold me to Reading, 75 grand.
No way.
Yeah. So that was my biggest regret. I should have swallowed my pride and let him pay for it and gone to Ipswich, because it was a great club. I enjoyed my time down here. It was...
What's it like in Ipswich? It's a bit out the way of everything else. Obviously, you was there for a month or so, but how did you find living in Ipswich? I assume you was living there, but
I went down and stayed down there and then travelled home on the weekends. But I liked it. It was lovely. It wasn't it's not too far from London actually. So
oh right, okay, it's a decent. You can commute to London.
It's not a great deal from London. So, but it was. I just enjoyed the players, the club itself. It was a proper club, It was a great support there, and that was the only one mistake I think I made, where I should have said, right, I should have gone to Ipswich.
Stable club as well, George Burley.
Yeah, George was there for years. And they played good football, and I enjoyed the training. The training ground was great.
Yeah,
when you think the training grounds we used to train on at Notts County were really poor. When I came to Cardiff, my God, we spent probably 20 minutes flicking the dog shit off the bloody off the park, because we didn't have proper training grounds. But they had their own proper training ground, and
when they were knocking about the Premier League around that era.
I think they went up that year.
They did. Okay.
Yeah, I think they went up that year. It was either that year or the following year. They definitely went up. Yeah.
I think George Burley got into third, didn't he? One year they finished just outside, or maybe fourth.
I can't
outside
remember.
the Champions League.
So now like Matt Holland and
Matty Holland was playing. Danny Sonner,
Scowcroft, Marshall,
Kieran
towards the end of his career.
Bramble, was he there?
And who was the striker they had? He scored like
Titus Bramble?
20.
No, Titus Bramble wasn't there then.
He wasn't there. He was later, that was it?
Yeah.
Marcus Stewart was it?
Marcus Stewart, maybe.
No, he wasn't there with me.
No.
They signed.
A bit later, maybe.
Oh God. They signed somebody from Bury, centre forward. I can't think of his name now.
Berry.
The same time as I went on loan. His son plays for Wales now on right wing.
Brendan Johnson.
Brendan Johnson's dad.
Oh, David Johnson.
They signed him the same day as me, and he came down and he loved it there.
Yeah,
he
did well there.
Yeah, he went to Forest in the end.
Yeah,
but he signed the first same day as me. So it was a good team, really good team.
So bit of a fun question now. Could be about anything to do with football whatsoever. But what's your most controversial football opinion today? What strong opinion have you got?
Strongest opinion, get rid of VAR.
Yeah. Not a fan at all.
I'm not. It's not that. I think they can cheat.
Yeah.
Where they draw the lines. They can
it's
put
not
it at
clear,
different angles.
Yeah.
They can put it at different angles.
It does always seem on the
it
kink,
seems sometimes they're on the tilt, and you think, well, is he offside? Is he not offside there? And if you've got lines on the pitch with the cut grass, and you can normally tell by that.
Yeah.
And sometimes you look at it and you think, well, that's not straight line.
It's not even on the line, is it? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's in line with a hot dog van instead of the line on the pitch, isn't it?
And I think like handball penalties with VAR. If somebody's blasted a ball, you've done that. You've naturally, you don't want it to hit you.
Yeah.
And it hits your hand and they give a pen. Or, I mean, look at the Arsenal one against Liverpool last year.
Yeah.
He fell on the floor and did that. And actually scooped the ball.
That should have been.
And he
a
reckons that
penalty,
was a natural movement.
Yeah, they lost the plot with handballs, haven't they?
I think that's my opinion on if they can get VAR sorted and get some ex-players in.
They was talking about maybe moving to semi-automated offsides like they do with the Euros. Do you think that would be a good move?
I think that would be better. There's no argument about it.
Yeah, and it's a lot quicker, isn't it? Decisions, it's just
done. Yeah, because if you take it, somebody puts a cross in, somebody heads it in the net, they look in and to see if they're offside. They can't even celebrate. So I think that's what they've taken out of the game in the Premier League.
Yeah,
taken out that celebration. Because the time they give the game, it's just a cheer, and then you lined up.
Yeah.
So they don't like really go and celebrate it properly.
Yeah, and that's like one of the best parts of football, isn't it? Is
Or the
that connection
adrenaline. Yeah,
and-
the adrenaline when you score a goal. I can't explain it. You know, it just takes over you, and you think, wow, what's this? But I think they've taken that away from the game, and I think that needs to come back. And defending referees, if referees make a mistake, they're human. Don't worry about it. Come out and say, I've made a mistake.
Yeah.
Don't have another referee try and say, oh, well, I think he thought that. You know, like I watched, what was it? It was on the other night on Sky, and it was one of the previous referees, and he was defending some of the decisions. And they were clear and obvious.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, they're never going to turn on the owner, they?
No,
so,
but don't defend him. Let the referee, if the referee comes out, if they spoke after the game and said, I've made a mistake there, I think the managers would accept it because they're human. They can't get everything right. Yeah. It's impossible.
I think, well, I've said this on this podcast before, leave the goal line technology. If it was a goal, yes or no. All the rest, let the ref.
Possibly. I would go with the semi-automatic. I'd go with that because I think that works well. But where they draw the lines now, and like you say, they can obscure the picture and just put it across, and I think, I don't know.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching first episode with Andy Legg. Don't forget, we have part 2 as well with Andy Legg. Please do catch that on our channel and all our other episodes as well.
Yep. And all that's left to say, guys, is remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the episode, share with your friends, and have a world-class weekend.